Hello everyone and welcome to, I think it's the 5th episode of the Value Creator Talk. If you haven't watched this before, the concept is very simple. I think there's so much noise out there, meaning news and information. It is hard for you to identify those relevant, very practical news and implement them somewhere, whether it's your existing business or maybe you're trying to launch something in the future. And this is why even this whole talk is called Value Creator. Trying to identify things, technologies, cases, businesses that could help you create value in your business or maybe in your company. If you are working at a company, maybe you could find a way to be an entrepreneur and create value internally. So for today, I have 5 things for you that I want to go through. First one, very exciting, Runway. You've probably already heard about Runway. It's a way to create all of these AI videos, AI images and stuff like this. But this one is truly exciting now because they're introducing what's called Act One. Let me just switch on this video so that it'll be even simpler and easier for you to understand what this is all about. So there's an actor or a person, green screen behind or something simple. You don't need any equipment. This is the critical bit. And as you can see, the actor is being recorded and then the AI model essentially is reproducing all of the facial expressions, whatever the person is saying. And it's just amazing. I mean, look at this. It is literally like A-star, A+ production quality. This is insane. And again, the key thing, this is all AI. All you need is an actor, a good script, green screen, and that's it. You upload the video with that actor. Obviously, you program the character, how the character looks, sounds, and so on and so on. That's pretty much it. I like this guy. The crazy thing is, used to take weeks for production companies to produce. Now you can literally do it in 10, 20 minutes. And on a very practical level, this is something that I'm going to experiment with because I was always bullish on virtual influencers, virtual avatars, and stuff like that. But without AI, I find it very expensive to produce videos with them because then one video I actually estimated without AI could easily take you like $500 to $600. Whereas with AI, okay, let's say you pay an actor for 20, 30 minutes of their time, like let's say $100. In 30 minutes, you can get 10 videos done. I mean like 10 short videos, like 1 minute each. Then all you need is like a good editor who can use this AI tool. So you put all of that inside, you run it through the app and that's it. You have 10 ready videos. So my estimate is that for probably like $300-400, you can get like 20 videos done. And even the script you can generate with AI, like ChatGPT or something like that. The key thing becomes here, how interesting your character is. What is the sort of content space you're working in? Meaning that, are you actually generating some cool, new, unique content, or are you just generating some garbage? I think this is the critical bit. Similar to cartoons, a lot of people love cartoons and mascots, but not all of them are successful. But I literally want to set aside $500 or like $1,000 just to maybe have like a mascot talking about what we do, about technologies. I'm going to experiment, but I do think, again, no matter what industry you're working in, there's so many ways how you can figure out, like, again, by just putting in $400 roughly, you get 20 videos out. So is it a avatar that is the face of your brand? Is it the avatar for like customer support or whatever it is, right? I think there's a lot of use cases you can think about, which are pretty cool. Now, let's get onto the second one, which is not as fascinating as the whole Runway video generation bit, but I do think it's also very important to remember. So a lot of articles lately are saying Google AI search errors go viral, and I've seen that many times. I wanted to talk about one thing. So many businesses are now trying to integrate AI and use it absolutely everywhere because, again, you can create value for your customers or future customers by using AI bots, AI avatars, and something like that. It's interesting how the moment something goes wrong, people are gonna hate you literally straight away, no matter how much value you've created for them. So what I wanted to say is, if you are now integrating AI into your business, I would approach it from a perspective of like, what could go wrong? What is the worst scenario if you implement AI? Because it's interesting how when it comes to AI, obviously we're thinking about the value it can create and generate for your existing users or future customers, but we also kind of forget what's the anti, can it actually harm your existing business? Is there a reason why customers would be unhappy? And this is why, again, if you're trying to integrate AI, do it. That's literally what I do on a daily basis for businesses, but think about the worst outcome. Think about where things could go wrong and then try to minimize that risk, because that's the only way to make sure that by integrating AI, AI, you're actually creating value for someone rather than creating risk. Super important to remember. But we'll add this article in the comment section so you could go through. It's just like people are finding some silly answers given by Google AI, and straight away people are like, oh no, AI has gone rogue, it doesn't work and stuff like that. And that's what I'm saying. Customers are very, very picky, which is okay because we live in a very competitive world, but just good for you to remember that. Now, I guess let's go on to the next one, which is, I think it's a bit boring if I'm being honest with you, but I do think, again, there's a lot of value in learning about this case specifically. So in the US, they have this marketplace called Poshmark. In the UK, we have eBay, we've got Vinted, where you can sell clothes. You can sign up to sell your clothes or you can buy them. So it's a generic marketplace, right? Like on eBay, you can buy and sell everything. Now, the product stayed exactly the same, meaning that these guys just kept working, the product is there, nothing changes. Then they decided to remove the 20% seller fee. So let's say I'm selling my, bicycle, right? So I'm selling it for £1,000 and then I have to pay the 20% seller fee. So then they said, no, let's try to find kind of like the optimal solution both for buyers and sellers. So they did a 5.99% for sellers and then the same protection fee for buyers. And then they said additionally, a buyer and a seller would pay like $1, $2 or $3 based on the total order amount. The idea was, which is interesting, that they would split up the cost basically between the buyer and the seller, right? To make it more fair and sort of equal. Paradoxically, I think that was like 2 months ago. 2 months later, they've actually noticed that their sales have gone down, which is interesting to think about because the product hasn't changed. The marketplace is still there, but the pricing and the sort of the business model has slightly changed overall, which is a very, very interesting lesson because you might think, okay, now it's a fair pricing model and even sellers should be more happy, but the opposite happened. Because of this new weird, well, for customers, the way they see it, pricing model, sellers ended up having and doing less sales. So even though they were charged less now, they came back to Poshmark and said, hey, I know, it's not 20% now, we're paying less commission, but it doesn't matter because we're getting less sales. Again, it's interesting understanding how the perception of value is very relative to the price you're paying. So again, the product stayed the same, everything stayed the same, just the pricing model. So maybe that's something important to remember in your existing or future business or product that you're trying to sell. Depending on the pricing model, that could be the game changer. Might, either grow your business or kill it. You never know. And then the last thing that I wanted to talk about today is, so I came across this. Fashion tech startup gets 2.2 million to snap, search, and buy clothes in 60 seconds. And interestingly, like, you don't even have like a real website now. So you can kind of like just enter your name and email and sign up and get notified whenever, they launch. The interesting aspect here for me was that if you think about the product, there's so many products like this already out there, meaning like an e-commerce shop, a marketplace, or something similar. But it's the 60 seconds sort of idea that makes it very, very interesting. And I think because of the social media especially, we now have, at least I for sure, have a very short attention span, and I'm pretty sure you do too. So now it's interesting how we just want everything quicker. And even as, something simple and very competitive and very saturated space like clothing, someone could win there if they're able to do the same thing in 60 seconds. And it got me thinking, if the world is becoming such a quick place where everyone is just like running around, selling quicker, buying quicker, producing quicker, maybe that's the exact reasons why now all of the apps, services, and products could be adapted to this new time frame and speed. Again, it's fascinating how you could be doing the same thing, like you could be launching a new business now, doing exactly the same thing like all of your competitors, but your whole angle is, I'll do it in 60 seconds, I'll do it in 5 minutes, in an hour, in a day, whatever it is. I do think, again, in such a fast-paced world, it seems like consumers are really loving this whole fixed time angle where they exactly know when they're getting, like Amazon Prime, get this today in 2 hours. Wow, perfect. That's what I'm paying for. Again, this fashion startup raising 2.2 million, even without really like launching, promising to search and buy clothes in 60 seconds. I think this is just one of the few examples that we'll see in the future. So maybe again, like if you're trying to launch something in the future or you're working already on your existing business, maybe this is a decent angle to test out. Keep everything as it is, but add the sort of the time element to it, meaning that I'll do this in 60 seconds, in 2 days, 5 days. I do think there's a lot of value, which is obviously very subjective. Is it worth it? Like, is it really kind of like true value for the consumer? Seems like it. Test it out. I find this idea very, very interesting. That's basically it. That's all I have for you today. Hope you enjoyed it. And again, I'm using this format to talk about very practical ways of creating value for yourself, for your business, for your future business. I hope this was useful. Leave any feedback, any comments. Make sure you subscribe so that you always know when the next video comes out. Yeah, and let's just connect. Hope you enjoyed it. And as I say always, have a great day.